Hello. I've decided that today feels like a great day to start a weekly vlog. It's actually a Friday, so we're gonna do a Friday to Friday vlog, but some things are changing this week. I've just made some life decisions, good ones, that, we're shaking things up, but it's also the first week of February. I would love to share what I'm reading, and especially in the next couple days, today, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be doing some fun things that I thought it would be fun to bring you along. And what else? Oh, and we're getting ready to go on a little vacation to the mountains. So, there will be some discussions of packing, particularly what am I going to pack reading wise. This feels like a really difficult decision. What am I going to pack to read? I've also found out that there is a bookstore that will be within walking distance of where I'm staying. So, how many books do I really need to take with me if I'm then going to obviously go to that bookstore and check it out? These are just the hard-hitting decisions that I'm going to need to make in the next week. And I thought it would be fun to share this week with you, do some reading together, and just have a good time. So that's my intro. I'm gonna go finish up some work, and then the husband and I are gonna go on a little lunch date, which includes a stop at the bookstore. I can't be controlled right now, and you know what? It's okay. Put there for now. I know that was really succinct, concise for me, but like I said, I'm gonna go wrap up a little bit of work. Then we're gonna go on our little day date, and then it's Pizza Friday, and I'm back to eating pizza like a normal person, which feels good. Though I think it will have to be in very much more limited amounts than I used to, because I have had, after a long hiatus, I have tried eating some dairy and gluten this week, and I'm breaking out again. So I didn't do it right, where you're only supposed to test one of those things at a time. Life happens, it didn't work out. So, it's just gonna be a longer process of having breaks in between those things and just seeing what feedback my body gives me. So that's where I'm at with that. If at any point I have shared this kind of skin dietary sensitivity journey I've been on, that's where I'm at with that. Thank you for listening. That was not expected, but here we are. I'll check in with you later. This is now the third time I've tried to film this little update. Both times something has happened with the recording where I have not stopped it, but my phone has stopped it, or I didn't press record and I thought I did. Anyway, all I really want to tell you is that I got some books yesterday because we went to the bookstore on our little lunch date. One was Briefly a Delicious Life, and then the other one they didn't have a copy of, but they could order it for me, and it was Miss Major Speaks, which is a memoir, and I don't read a ton of those, but this one just sounded so interesting, and it's the perfect time of year to read something like this, because actually any time of year is the perfect time to read something like this, but it came across my feed because it's February, and I was like, nope, this is now a priority read for me, so I'll be excited when that order comes in and I can go pick it up. Here, I got some winter shoes that were on sale and a new hat because I prefer a beanie with the poof, just for proportion's sake. And I didn't have one because all the other ones I've had in the past, our golden retriever would always steal them and eat the poof. I would much rather have him back than have hats with a poof, but sadly he's no longer with us. So hopefully I can keep this one for longer than like a week. And yeah, we are gonna go do some fun things today. My kid has her first shift selling Girl Scout cookies at the table, so that will be fun. And then there's like a big town, like kind of art festival. I guess it's an art festival, but the art is ice sculptures and like fire performances. They call it Fire and Ice. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna wander a few sections of that today, before and after, you know, the Girl Scout cookie selling. And then the books that I'm really trying to read this week are The God of Endings by Jacqueline Holland. This one is about a vampire who she becomes a vampire at a relatively young age. And I don't think she stays a child like some other vampire stories go, but she doesn't like ever get that far into adulthood either. And this is kind of like about her life, like her journey to where she is now, but it's also like it goes back and forth between like, you know, she was made a vampire somewhere in the 1800s, I think like 1870s, maybe earlier than that, but now it's the 1980s and she's a preschool teacher basically. And like some other weird things are happening in her present day life that might be connected to her past. You've only gotten like little snippets so far. We will see. And this one, I'm only like 14 pages in, but I'm very compelled to keep reading it just based off of the little bit that I've read so far, and that is The Principle of Moments by Esme Jacami Pearson. And this one is science fiction. It's been dubbed as just like a grand old space opera. I know there's time travel and a prophecy, and we're trying to save humans from this horrible empire, which, you know, that's, when done correctly, is always going to be a good story. So yeah, I will keep you posted on both of these. I'm really trying to read them, finish them both between today and next Friday. Today's Saturday. I need to get them done before Friday because one of these is a library book and I don't feel comfortable taking library books on a plane. And this one is just too big. Like, I'm really excited to have this book and to read it, but I can't bring this one on an airplane. I can't justify this in my carry-on or in my suitcase. So we're gonna get them done because it would really drive me nuts if I didn't finish them before we left. So I'll keep you posted on how this goes. Hopefully this recorded, and yeah, I'll take you along for some of the fun today, and I'll check back in later. Monday. Good morning. We having a good Monday so far. I am having a good Monday so far. I hope you are too. I hope it's a we thing. Yeah. The school drop off went smoothly. I've worked out, showered. I got some solid breakfast in. I got to watch the first episode of Has Been Hotel. It's a new adult animated series. There's also a musical that my husband discovered, watched the first episode, and was like, I also need you to watch it, and I'm glad that I did. It was enjoyable. I think he told me he read somewhere that it was for fans of Gravity Falls. It's another kind of adult-leaning animated series, and or you're healing from religious trauma. I can vouch for both of those things. That's a pretty accurate description. And in case you're interested, there's like coffee grinds on my mug and I can see them staring at me. It's on Prime. Yeah, it's on that one if you want to check it out. we are getting back into the swing of things. And it's that, week before you go on vacation energy. So not starting any new giant projects because that would be silly. We're actually wrapping up a lot of things this week, which is going to be good. It's all positive. And yeah, I'm still working on reading my books. I have gotten further in both of them, I think, since the last time we chatted. The Principle of Moments kind of took over yesterday. I just kept picking it up. Anytime I had a spare moment, I was picking it up to read it. So we're at a point now where there are like 2 storylines happening, but they are very much interconnected, but they have not no, that's not true. Let me take that back. Hold on. There's several prophecies, and 2 of them have already come to pass. And somehow, some way, the universe, whatever powers that be, is saying that the 3rd prophecy is coming to fruition. And these certain energy, these certain beings are kind of coming back into the fold. And then, of course, there's all the other people, the, more or less regular people. I mean, some of them can jump time. Some of them are just really smart. And they are all just kind of on for the ride at this point. So you have Asha, who finds out very early in the book that her whole life is not what she thought it was. Her mother is not exactly who she thought who she thought she was. Still her mother, but was not giving her the whole truth about their family's past. And so now Asha basically has to go on a quest. And along this quest, she runs into the other main character, Obi. I feel like I'm just reading on a leap of faith. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's I don't know what's going on right now. I'm guessing eventually it will be revealed to me what's really going on. And then because Obi is not from the same place, and so there's his whole baggage that's going on, and he's in love with somebody that that's a challenging relationship for all the reasons. I'm trying not to give too much away. And of course, your heart hurts for Obi because I love true love. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now. It's adventures and lots of questions and space. That's where we're at in that book. And I think I'm past page 200 now. I think it's a little over 500 pages. So we're getting there, and I'm having a fun time. I think that's the most important thing. I'm having a fun time reading it. And the more I read it, the more fun I feel like I'm having. As for The God of Endings, I don't know if I read that much more of it, but I don't think that my setup for it was super complete on Saturday when I last talked to you about what I was reading, because I was getting really frustrated because it was the 3rd time that I hit record to try and just do that little talk to you. I'm very intrigued. I really want to know what's happening with Colette, the main character, also known as Anna or Anya, is some of her other past experiences. But she might be going nuts. She keeps she keeps waking up, and she doesn't know how she gets into these situations that she finds herself in. And then you're kind of worried because she does work with children. She loves the kids. That's not really worrisome. But yeah, you can tell. And then there's one of the families that she works with, of one of her students, they're of questionable energy. And so I don't know where that's going either. And the whole thing just kind of has my heart up in my throat. That's how I feel right now in the book. I don't think I've reached page 200 in that one yet. But we will keep reading, and I will keep you posted. Basically, I'm just worried for everybody in that story. That's how I feel right now. I'm just worried for everybody. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's how I'm feeling. But that's where we're at. We had a really nice weekend. The sun was out all weekend. The Girl Scout cookie sales went very well. The girls did great. So we were walking home, and it was, just nice to hear as a parent when you ask your kid, how did that make you feel? And she said proud. And I was just cool. And she should. They did a good job, little businesswomen. And it's so cute when, like, because that's what, like, people recognize that, is that those are the skills that they're working on. They're out there holding up signs, they're advertising, they're talking to customers, they're dealing with money and inventory. And it's just like, wow, like, those little things are things that they will remember, get imprinted in their brain. And it's just such a positive experience all around. And they almost sold out of cookies. So it was just really cool. And then we just hung around all day yesterday. We had a couple friends over. Our dog got to play with his best friend dog. It was great. And now we're back at the desk. And it's time to log on, check the emails, do all the things. And hopefully there will be some more reading later today. And I can check in soon with another reading update. And eventually, maybe not today, maybe like Wednesday, we have to pick out the travel TBR. I know, it just feels so important for whatever reason. Because this is the first trip that I will have taken probably since becoming a parent, like family vacation, where I know I will have time to read, to just sit and be by myself and read. Like, I know that that is part of the plan, because everyone else will be off doing stuff. And so I want to make sure that the things that I bring are things that I'm actually really excited to read. And I know I'm going to need more than one option. That's where I'm at today. Got my cup of coffee. All right, it's time to go be responsible, but we'll talk again later.
Easy rider on the highway, station wagon going slow, windows open, you are basking in the bluegrass radio. It is easy now to see you with your hand out on the wind. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Pink azaleas by your driveway shade our leisurely goodbyes. In your terry cotton sweater, with your arms sweeping the sky. It was then I had a knowing.
So funny story. Yesterday, I was fully under the impression that there was a meeting of, I guess, the silent book club chapter that exists where I live. But I was wrong. I knew it was on the 7th, which is today, the day I'm talking to you. But for some reason, I was convinced that the 7th was a Tuesday. I don't know how I got there. So I was all ready to go. I was excited. I was getting out of the house. I was going to complete one of my bookish goals for the year already, which is go to a book club of some kind, feel her out. No, I drive down there, park, I'm walking, and I walk by the little cafe where it's supposed to be happening. And I'm like, it doesn't look that crowded in there. And then I have an epiphany that today is only the 6th. I had written down February 6th several times. And I had an epiphany that the 7th was actually today, a Wednesday, when I cannot go because I don't have, my co-parent is not available to stay home. It's nobody's fault. But man, was I bummed. This week, I'm already just the past week and a half has already been fairly emotional. I am stressed because we're getting ready to go on a trip and I'm having to manage that stress. It's better now, but I'm also closing out my time on a project that I've been working on for the past 6 months, and the project is continuing on without me. Basically, I was given the chance to kind of see how it would feel working for a certain startup. And while I loved the people and I loved the work, ultimately I kind of came to the realization that I'm just not the right fit. It's not the right fit for me. I'm not the puzzle piece to this puzzle. And I have a really bad habit of just holding on to things way too long, and then I get mad and bitter. And the last thing I wanted was for the people I had been working with and me to end on bad terms. Like, we're all working towards a common goal in different ways. And so, I cried really hard about it in therapy, and then I just had to come clean with them. And of course, they were super supportive, which, why wouldn't they be? In hindsight, I'm not leaving anybody hanging. They're gonna, have some work from me content-wise to like see them through the next little bit. But yeah, as one of them so sweetly put it, I love it when someone is, chooses themselves. And how can you be mad about that? And who knows what the future holds. But for right now, I knew that I just needed to step away. I need less work on my plate. I have a steady job. Is it, the subject matter super thrilling? No, but the work is satisfying. I don't want to get too personal or in the details with it. But needless to say, like, my emotions have been more towards the surface than they normally are. Even like right now, like, I feel like I could cry. I don't feel like I need to, but like, for whatever reason, I'm just, I'm feeling all my feelings right now. And last night when I realized that I got the date wrong and I had gotten my hopes up to go to this cool, book club event, and then I was just like, nope, I just have to go home. I was disappointed, and I'm still feeling a little bummed about it. And I think it's not just that, like I said, it's all the things. So I have decided that I'm gonna go for a walk. It's a day off for me working out, so I should get some active rest in. So I'm going to take a little walk up to the grocery store that's just up the hill from me and get one of my favorite things for lunch. It's like a veggie sandwich and some siete potato chips, particularly the serrano pepper vinegar ones. And I was gonna get like a bubbly beverage. A bubbly? Did I just say bubbly? Bubbly beverage. But I still have a ginger ale kombucha in my little drink fridge, don't I? That has been in here for a little bit, so maybe I'll just come home and I'll drink this. That seems like a good idea. Treat myself. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get a sandwich full of vegetables and some potato chips that I haven't eaten since last year. That sounds really nice. And it's sunny outside, and the movement is good for me, and all the things. And then I really need to start packing and making sure all the laundry is done. And I also need to read, because I'm determined to finish my 2 books this week. The Principle of Moments has completely captured my attention at this point. I'm over 350 pages in, approaching page 400. So yeah, we're getting into it. It is definitely a book where I'm still not 100% sure what is going on, but I also do understand what's going on. That doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense in my head. We just got to go with it. Like, I'm thoroughly entertained, clearly, because I want to keep reading and what's going to happen to these kids. Because they're all teenagers, the kind of main characters in this book. No, that's not true. Obi is maybe 22. He's in his early 20s. And Asha is 18, I think. And then there's another boy at this point. I don't know how old he is, but he's somewhere in there. And, I would be lying if at this point I hadn't made some comparisons to, trios of characters in, that one movie franchise that has also been called a space opera. But, it's only in the sequence of events and how you kind of just have to like dispel any like expectations of how things are supposed to go or the speed at which things can happen, and just that it's just constant adventure, and the next turn of events just keeps the story moving. But I am enjoying that at this point, like we are getting more pieces of this prophecy or these actual 3 prophecies that keep getting mentioned. So we're understanding not everything, but we're getting more pieces of like what these prophecies entail, how these characters fit in, which I don't know, I love that stuff. So, you know, the legend, the myths, I enjoy that a lot. So like I said, it has captured my attention. I will get back to the God of Endings. I do want to, you know, keep reading that one. But today I'm going to see how far I can get in the Principle of Moments, because, you know, who knows, I could finish it today. And then that would give me 2 days to get the God of Endings done before we take off. So, you know, it's nice that I'm in my follicular phase because I have the energy and the brain power to, you know, do all these things. And I'm not getting distracted as easily. It's nice. It's good timing. I appreciate the timing. All right, I'm gonna go get my lunch now because then I can come home, check in with work, start packing, maybe read, you know, hopefully feel a little bit better by the end of today. I got the goods, sort of. Hello. Did get the chips. These are not for you. But they didn't have my sandwich. They were all out of them. But I did find this falafel wrap, which I think will also hit the spot. It looks good. I mean, I do love falafel and that, you know, tzatziki, fresh kind of cucumber, onion, feta, Greek yogurt flavor combination. You guys know what tzatziki is. I didn't need to tell you all the ingredients. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit here, probably find something fun to watch on YouTube, drink my little drink, eat a couple chips, probably get up off the floor, because even though I would like to just sit down here, why? I couldn't tell you. I don't think a certain little pointy-eared pup will make that super feasible, but that was a good excursion. I'm glad we did it. I'm going to eat in peace, and then I'm gonna start some laundry and get to packing. We're gonna start with all like the snow gear stuff, because even though I'm not actually bringing my like snowboarding gear and not planning on snowboarding this trip, I am planning on doing some tubing. We're going snowmobiling one day, and I'm gonna sign up to do like a snowshoeing tour on one of the mountains, which will be really good, but I still need to get, you know, bundled up and snowproofed for that. I am curious to see when I get there and like seeing everybody else do their thing, if I'm gonna be bummed that I didn't at least try. I don't think I'm going to be, knowing that, you know, hopefully our kid really enjoys ski school and this just becomes more of a regular thing for us. Ow, threw my neck out a little bit. Hopefully that's not permanent. And then I can either attempt to snowboard now that I have a new knee, or I'm just gonna try skiing and see if that's something I can still learn how to do as an adult and maybe enjoy at a leisurely pace, you know, for the foreseeable future. Because I do like being active, but I also don't like falling off the lift. Not like off the lift, but falling down every time I try to get off a ski lift, which, to my own credit, I really didn't do that much the last time we went. But that was before, that was 2020, February of 2020. So it's been a while. So, and the whole thing just stresses me out. So that was really the thought process. I just don't want to be stressed out. I just want to let my kid have a good time. I just want to sit and rest and do nothing and read a lot and be cozy. All right, good chat. I'm gonna eat lunch now and get back to my to-do list. Another pre-trip task. I have these fancy fandangled headphones. They are fantastic. I love these things. I know. I need to take them all off at this point. And put some new ones on before we go, but you know, one out of the rest of them is really not that bad. I need to replace these. I didn't even know you could do that, but apparently you can. So we're gonna try. I bought some replacement ones. Are they probably exactly the same? No, but they are really close. Oh, it looks like they are pretty similar. Wow, they're much cleaner. So I'll let you know how this goes. To part 3. Like I said, I was close to page 400, not as close as I thought, but I've made it to page 409. And I also don't think I've mentioned that there's also a whole other half to this story that takes place in the past. So half of it is way in the future, your 6066 future, and then there's a whole other part that's happening in 1812. Which is also really interesting. And they're both entwined in this prophecy that has been set into motion. But you obviously they are working independently of each other, these two teams of people trying to basically stop whatever bad thing that is gonna happen. But at some point these paths are gonna need to cross. And you know, that has me on the edge of my seat a little bit. Not to mention, the things that have now been made clear that they, need to do also has me on the edge of my seat. So I think I have about 100 pages left. I really would just like to keep reading, but we have to go be responsible. But needless to say, I am really enjoying this story the more I get into it. I'm looking at the cover of this, and it is a book 1. So I also need to I need to keep my expectations in check for the end of this book, because I don't think I'm going to get all the answers that I want. Yeah, sometimes I forget that when I'm reading. I don't have to wait for more of this story. That's okay. That's okay. That's anticipation is good, and excitement and all the things. But I also already want it now. Knowing that I only have 100 pages left and they cannot possibly do all the things that they need to do in 100 more pages. So now I'm stressed. It's a good kind. It's like an entertainment stress. Anyway, just want to give you that little reading update. I'm going to go work on some laundry, probably pack a little bit more. And then it'll be time to go pick up the kiddo, and we'll just have a cozy little evening at home. I am excited. I am going to make a recipe that I saw on Instagram. I think it was Instagram, and immediately was just I have to have it. It's some pasta with a roasted carrot miso sauce. Yeah, so I got some brown rice pasta. Not that I don't love normal pasta, but I actually like brown rice pasta. And I wanted the, extra protein and the fiber. Yeah, and then I'm going to just roast. I really have a craving for just some crispy, slightly salted roasted broccoli. So we're going to put that on the side, just have a veggie forward dinner, and it's going to be really delicious. So if I think about it, I will kind of show you that process. Again, not my recipe. I will link it for you because it just looks so cozy and tasty, and there's noodles. there's noodles involved. So yeah, I will link that below. And it should be, like I said, a nice, cozy school night of an evening. All right. We'll cooperate. But the time has come for me to actually start packing. And so I have to make some difficult decisions. Namely, what am I going to take with me to read? Because can I take all of these? Absolutely not. I mean, in a perfect world, I would have a private jet and, you know, there would just be a library on it. But that's, you know, do they smell like something? So anyway, as you can see, there are a bunch of books that I would really like to read right now. But I need to be realistic and take the ones that, you know, I actually think I will enjoy, because I am going to be on vacation. So, you know, I'm going to be vacation mindset. Also can fit in my backpack or won't add too much weight to my suitcase because I have to get them there and back. And no, I don't want to take my Kindle. I like reading the real books. And not to mention that I have discovered that there is an independent bookseller in the town that I'm going to. And I obviously am going to pay them a visit because I've been going to this mountain town for more than 13 years now. 13 years? I think the first time I went was 13 years ago, and I had no idea it was there. And it's been there the whole time. You know, other priorities, I guess. But that is like a top priority for me on this trip. Anyway, let's just go through the books, and maybe as I touch them, I'll have like a spark and it will all make sense. Is this a difficult decision? And you'll have to forgive, there will be a puppy zooming in and out because I'm sitting on the floor, and to him that means playtime. But anyway, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I feel like this one might be too heavy. Like, I've heard it's really good, but it's heavy, and it is actually like a really heavy book. So I do really want to read it though. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. This is new, and I really want to know what happens next. And I guess it's also like there's winter in this book. I think I heard somewhere that it's kind of set at the same time as the first book, where it kind of begins in autumn as they're like moving into winter. And I'm going to a very snowy place, so still in consideration. The Deep Sky by Yumi Kitase. I believe that's how you pronounce that. I know this one is science fiction, and it's kind of like a murder mystery science fiction. I'm very intrigued, and I've heard really good things about it. Still in consideration. Feybound. This is on my priority TBR for February, and I really think I would like it, but do I really want to take my signed special edition copy on an airplane and drag it around with me? Not that it's not a burden to drag you around. It's not that. It's like I don't want to drag you through rough times, because I mean, I think this one will just be the one I pick up as soon as I get home. Gnocchi! What are you doing? I think this one will be the one that I pick up as soon as we get home. I don't think I could bring myself to take this one with me. Gnocchi, you are like right in my shot. That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. This feels like a vacation book. to me, at least. It's fun, it's lighthearted. I believe it's some cozy fantasy, but with significant amount of spice. High consideration with this one. Bro. Let Us Descend by Jasmine Ward. This one has been on my TBR for a little bit. I bought it when it was first released, and I managed to snag a signed copy from my local bookstore. I know this one probably isn't, you know, as fun or lighthearted as some of the other ones that I'm thinking about, but it's a good size book, and I don't know, it just keeps calling to me. Yeah, and it's like one that, it's like, you can tell it's like, not that length is important, but you know, it's not like some of the other books that are deceptive in size, where like, yeah, the book itself is smaller, but then the type is really small and they cover almost the whole page. That's not the case with this one. So I'm still considering this one. This Is How You Lose the Time War. This one feels also very much like a vacation read. I mean, because look, it's not that big. It's paperback, so it's light. And I've heard it's just really unique. It is February. Hope you guys like dogs. Come over here. Ready? Okay. So I know it is a love story, even if it is science fiction. So still considering. A Dowry of Blood. This one really is on my priority TBR. Yeah. Oh, I like really want to pick this one up now, like next now. So this one might be coming with me. You Dreamed of Empires. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I also am like thinking about the fact that I will be like reading these books in public more, because usually I just read at home. So it's like, is it bad that part of me wants people to see what I'm reading and be like, ooh, look at her? Does anybody else ever think that? Like, you want people to see what you're reading and then maybe they'll talk to you about it, or at least be like intrigued by your choice and therefore find you intriguing? Probably giving away too much information about myself. But that is how far I think through this sometimes. Because yeah, usually nobody else sees me reading. I read at home, but we're going out into the world. And this one just sounds so unique and cool that, again, it's one of the books that I really want to read it because I want to experience it. But I don't know if Sarah's vacation brain will be able to like do it justice. Raiders of the Lost Heart. Okay, I mentioned this when I hauled it, but in case you didn't see that, I picked this up because of the reference to Indiana Jones. Like, that's, I don't read a lot of contemporary romance, rom-com situations, but this one got me. Archaeology, it's, you know, I had to. Again, it's Valentine's month, and so this one might be fun. Again, it'd probably be a quick read, which is, you know, nice on vacation. What is this? You know, it's a little over 300 pages. Still thinking. And then the last one in that pile was Alone with You in the Ether. Again, I know this one is a romance and it's February, and that's kind of what I want to read right now. As well as do Black History Month justice, because we need to do that all year. We need to read Black authors, Black characters all year. But I also want to read those books too right now because that's what the people are talking about. So it's front in my mind, and it's got me all excited about it. My dog is currently breaking apart a plastic ball. He's putting the pieces down when he breaks them off, which is good. So I'm gonna lay them all out. Because, and I'll show you the ones that are still like top consideration. Do you have thoughts? Gosh. Okay, so I think this one's a definite. I mean, this one got a paw. All right, so That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon is coming with me. So, ready? Ready? Okay. How ambitious do I really want to be? I'm going on vacation, and I can go pick up another book if I need it. And all of these books will still be here when I get home. And yeah, that's also my dishwasher in the background. Wow, I picked a great time to film this. Anyway, so I've picked one so far. I'm really thinking this one. So I really need to read this. Okay, so that's 2. I need 3 books. Like, there's a good, like, I could, you know, get pretty far into one just Saturday travel day alone. All right, I think I decided. It's probably too many. As of this moment, I'm gonna take Let Us Descend, A Dowry of Blood, That Time I Got Drunk, and Saved a Demon, and maybe Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. It's between Emily Wilde and This Is How You Lose the Time War. And now that I've just said that, I think I'm gonna take This Is How You Lose the Time War, and I'll read Emily Wilde hopefully soon after we get home. Mostly because it's much smaller and lighter, and I'm like holding this in my hand. I'm like, this is not a wise stack. So I am gonna take 4 books. And the likelihood of me coming home with more books, you know, I'll have to limit it. 1, maybe 2. That's gonna be so tough, but I have to do it. Is high. But if I put 2 of these in my backpack and 2 of them in my suitcase, I think I'll be okay. I mean, when you see this, I'll have already like been on the trip and come home. So I'll let you know in the future how this works out. It's Friday. Am I done yet? No. But according to Storygraph, I'm 80% of the way there. And I have about 45 minutes before I have to go pick up my kid from school. I am not above taking this with me so that I can keep reading while she plays on the playground after school. And I'm not above bringing it with me to Pizza Friday because I will finish this before we leave on vacation. So did I finish the books before I went on vacation? I did. I'm actually filming this from like a co-working space on a mountain while my kid is at ski school, but there's like nobody else in here. So I figured this was as good a place as any to tell you I did in fact finish The Principle of Moments and The God of Endings. I successfully did it. As you can see, I was finishing up The God of Endings while cooking dinner on Thursday night. I think it was Thursday night before we left. Yeah, because Friday we had pizza. I would recommend both. The Principle of Moments, I didn't know this, but the author started that book when she was like 16 years old. I didn't know that. Afterwards, like reading some other reviews, you know, you could tell, but that did not detract from my enjoyment of the story at all. I think I said before, I loved the mythology, or like the backstory, the prophecies, like the little bits about the prophecies and the history of, you know, these people that we got throughout the book. And, you know, the original Star Wars movies are still my favorite films. Like, they have been since I was 7. And it's not to detract from the story at all, but like there's 3 main characters and they gave me very strong like Luke, Leia, Han Solo vibes, but like very original, not similar characters at all, but just those relationships between the 3 people. Like, one's very much more like brother sister, another one there are some feelings there, and I don't want to give too much away, but if you're looking for like a science fiction / fantasy read, you just want something fun, pick it up, like give it a shot. As for The God of Endings, I'm really glad I kept reading that one. I think I related to that story a lot because I am a mom, and there's a very strong plot line, several plot lines in there about parenthood, some positive, some not so positive. And I will say I did kind of see the ending coming, and I was okay with it because that's the ending I wanted to happen. I guess it's a happy ending for some, you know, to be interpreted, but part of the ending I didn't see coming, and vindictively I was okay with it, if that makes sense. Despite all of the stress and the packing and the work and the living that we had to do, I read over, I think between those 2 books, it was over 900 pages. So not too shabby. And yeah, you saw the 4 books that I brought with me on this trip, which I will talk about in the next reading vlog that I post, which will be, you know, kind of a reading at 7,000 plus feet up sort of situation, and I look forward to sharing those adventures with you. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm really getting on a roll, and I just want to say thank you to kind of the couple of people who have hit that subscribe button so far, who have left comments. Like, this is really making my day every time it happened. I love the interaction. I love meeting new people on here. So I would just say, you know, if you want to help me keep it going, and don't forget, I'm rooting for you, and I'll be back with another video real soon.